countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Welcome to Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Theater.
Ah, my lords and ladies, geeks, geekarellas, geekulas, and geekeritas. I am Lord Blood-Rah, and this is Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Theater. And tonight we pay a visit to the sleepy little seaside town of Point Dune. Scenic beaches, quaint shops, lovely sunsets, and a blood-red moon that portends madness. Tonight we have a tale of insane evil forcing its way into our sane, sedate reality. Written by William Hewick and Gloria Katz, the writing team behind the screenplays for American Graffiti, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and Howard the Duck. Tonight, it's the 1973 love letter to H.P. Lovecraft, Messiah of Evil. And of course, we'll also have our usual menu of the macabre, more craziness from Gore Drizzle the Unkind, the cranial cavity search, and much, much more. But now, without further ado, I give to you a garish tale of ghouls and gore. Here is Messiah of Evil.
I gave my message to the wind. I told my story to the sea. No one else is listening to me. The hidden truth clear in my mind. Soon all alone I will not find. Somehow, somewhere, someone may hear me. Without a soul, men without a heart, their one hungry goal to tear your life apart. How many are they? Don't try to find out, stay away. They are without shame. This is not a game. From them stay away, or you could become one. I say, I gave my message to the wind. I told my story to the sea. Somehow, somewhere, someone may hear me. Hold on to love.
They say that nightmares are dreams perverted. I've told them here it wasn't a nightmare. But they don't believe me. They nod and make little notes in my file. And they watch me now, waiting for me to scar my breasts, to eat insects maybe, or to lift my dress like some crazy old woman and urinate on the floor. But there's so little time left. You've got to listen. Not far from here, there's a small town on the coast. They used to call it New Bethlehem, but they changed the name to Point Doom after the moon turned blood red. Point Doom doesn't look any different than 1,000 other neon stucco towns. But what happened there, what they did to me, what they're doing now, they're coming here. They're waiting at the edge of the city. They're peering around buildings at night. And they're waiting. They're waiting for you. And they'll take you one by one, and no one will hear you scream. No one will hear you scream!
I went there looking for my father. He used to spend winters in Point Doom painting. Then, after my mother died, he stayed, and his letters became our only contact. Until recently, when his letters became more and more bizarre and finally stopped.
I have little time now. I can't write again. You mustn't worry. And please, you must promise not to follow me. I'm afraid to see people anymore. It's better that I wait alone for it to come.
Fill her up?
Yes.
Dogs. Stray dogs.
Doesn't sound like dogs.
Has to be. Has to be dogs.
That's Point Doom ahead, isn't it?
Why do you want to go to Point Doom?
I'm visiting somebody there.
I can't understand why anybody would want to go to Point Doom visiting.
You forgot.
Hello there. Fill her up?
$2. No knock.
Yes, sir. Machine's broke, lady. Don't you have any cash?
Well, no, but this is...
That's all right. Forget it.
Oh,
Get out! Get your stamps?
Here's to you, faithful Harbinger guy. You're the man who works at the gas station that lies right on the border between safety and mind-numbing chaos, warning the foolhardy not to enter. But they always do. They never listen. All of your "I can't understand why you'd want to go there" and acting squirrely just falls on deaf ears. And what's the thanks you get for all of your concern? You're the first one to get killed. Here's to you, Harbinger guy, for making creepy movies that much creepier. Oh, and speaking of creepy,
Journey into double terror with the late night double feature with X, the fiend from beyond space, and the Wall People. A crew of interstellar explorers must fight an unstoppable alien fiend from beyond space, hell-bent on consuming them all. Will they survive? Can they survive? And on the same program, a man must fight to save his only child from the clutches of strange invaders who use their advanced technologies to steal sleeping children through their bedroom walls. Are your children safe? Two terrors to tear you apart in the late night double feature.
Men, 1 billion strong, set to destroy the earth. The human race lulled into a false sense of security except for one scientist who dared probe the secret of this terrifying plan.
They're here, they're going to destroy us.
It's all right, Dr. Martin, you're with friends. You'll be all right.
They'll kill everyone. We've got to stop them!
Easy, Doug, easy.
Who are you?
A scientist, like yourself.
Where do you come from?
From a planet, yet unknown to you.
I'm getting out of here.
Stay where you are.
Dr. Martin, what are you doing with this?
Back or I'll kill him. Go on, get back.
Do as he says.
You'll see an amazing succession of staggering scenes. Strange monsters, giant reptiles, and astounding marvels of science yet unborn.
30th. For 3 nights now, I haven't slept. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. Visions are coming from areas of my mind that I don't understand. July 2nd. These grotesque images keep crowding in on me. At night, I find myself wandering alone in town, catching glimpses of horrid animals I know can't be there. And along the dark beach, faces haunt me. Pale women with sleepless eyes and shadowy figures staring toward the black water.
I drove into town late in the morning. It was hot already. I saw an art gallery and I thought they might know my father. The art dealer was blind. Her fingers moved like a pale spider over my face.
Joseph Lang? Do I know who he is? We do get magazines in Point Doon, which some of us can even read.
Well, I meant I'm looking for him. And I thought maybe you knew him personally.
Point Doon isn't an artist colony. I heard he did take people out there, mostly women, but they weren't from Point Doon. There were some people in this morning looking for your father, which means some people do like his brand of art.
Who were they?
I don't know. Strangers. I think they're staying at the Seven Seas.
I'm as old as the hills. Mama delivered me herself. Just about to feed me to the chickens. And Daddy said, maybe we could use a boy, Lottie. That's how I came into the world.
Excuse me. They said at the gallery that you were looking for Joseph Lang. He's my father, and I just...
Just come in and close the door.
All I want to know is if you knew...
Close the door. Go ahead, Charlie.
It's hard to remember back on things, but I remember the red moon my daddy told me about only once. Mama gave him a bad look when he talked about it. He was only a boy himself then. He called it the blood moon. He said that was the night that he lost religion. He learned that men could do horrible things. Like animals.
I'm really hungry. I've got the munchies.
Shut up. Go ahead, Charlie. What about the moon?
100 years ago, the moon started turning red up in the sky and things began to happen. It was like the red of the moon got up there, the closer the people were being jerked toward hell, where the people started bleeding out of control. They found children eating raw meat. It was like the town was festering with an open sore until the night that they came down out of the canyon. And
who came down, Charlie?
I gotta go.
Charlie. Take the wine, Charlie.
Well, thanks for your kindly hospitality.
People bleeding out of control, children eating raw meat, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Sounds like some real Old Testament stuff went down in Point Dune about 100 years ago. Things seem quiet enough now, though. Well, other than the rather disturbing-looking guy with the pickup truck full of bodies. And, of course, the Harbinger guy at the gas station getting killed. But every little town has its quirks. And sadly, every show must have its commercials. My lords and ladies, Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin' Theater t-shirts are now available from NovemberFire.com. You can also get this great design on everything from regular men's tees, girls' tees, to tank tops and even hoodies. Sizes from small to 10XL. Go to NovemberFire.com today and get your Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin' Theater t-shirt. If it looks this good on this guy, imagine how it'll look on you.
It is safe to state that the grandchildren of some of the people in this dinner will not be born on Earth. They come from the bowels of hell, a transformed race of walking dead, zombies guided by a master plan for complete domination of the Earth. Plan 9 from outer space. Starring the most nightmarish cast ever, Bela Lugosi, the seductive Vampira, and Tor Johnson as the Walking Dead.
Turn off your electrode gun! No! No! Stop it, Dennis!
I can't get it, it's jammed!
Grab him, you fool!
Bullets bounce off their bodies. Rockets, missiles, jets cannot stop their death ships. What earthly power can stop this terror? For a glimpse of things to come, see this blast of screen suspense. For it could be happening right now.
So rotted away his soul that even death cannot bring him release. He suffers the cruelest curse ever placed upon mortal man by the host of darkness. He becomes the Beast of the Yellow Night.
happened to his face?
Mangled beyond recognition in an industrial accident.
He returned from the dead to possess the body, the life, and the woman of another. But his desire made him a savage beast, condemned to stalk the night with an insatiable lust for living flesh.
Nobody could have done that with his bare hands.
What kind of a weapon would you need to rip out a man's heart with a single blow?
Tahimik lang! May sasabihin ako sa inyo.
Yan!
Starring
I'm looking for my father. Do you know him?
I know of him.
They told me at the gallery.
We drove by the gallery this morning. I happened to see how this works in the window. I didn't know that he lived here.
They didn't have any of his paintings there.
Well, that's popularity. Because they did this morning. I offered to buy one, and the old woman said they weren't for sale. As a matter of fact, it was a portrait of you.
Tom likes to collect things.
Like old trunks?
Old-fashioned retort.
What's a retort?
Tony, you're half girl, half child, and half wit.
Sit on it, sister.
Don't be afraid. I'm an ugly old man, but I'm harmless. It's about your daddy. They mustn't hear me. I got him fooled. I get drunk, sleep on the sidewalk like a dog, and they let me be. I ain't crazy. Hello, Charlie.
What about my father?
You have to kill him.
You're crazy.
You can't bury him. Don't put him in the ground. You gotta burn him. You gotta put fire to his body.
The afternoon town asking about my father. The reaction was always the same. People would only stare or shake their heads and back away.
July 6th. Our Letty called this morning. I listened to her, but couldn't let her know I was here. My voice would have terrified her. At times, I make noises which don't seem human. And my mind is letting go. I try to remember the past, my daughter, but I can't. Instead, I think of death. Always death.
What are you doing here?
You look so comfortable, I didn't want to wake you. You're very pretty when you sleep.
I'm going to take a nap. Want to come?
Later.
But you can't stay here.
Just for the night. I'm willing to pay. We had a little trouble at the motel. You remember the old gentleman who was telling us the story?
Of course I do. He was mad.
Perhaps. But when they found him this afternoon, he was dead. The police came and questioned us. Needless to say, they weren't very understanding, what with me and my two traveling companions. And then suddenly, every other motel locked and shuttered its windows. You're the only other person we know.
What happened to the old man?
They found his body in the alley. He must have passed out or something. The police theorized that it must have been dogs. Well, they found his body half-eaten.
I let them stay. I never understood why. It was as if I'd come into a foreign town where I didn't speak the language and was sharing a house with people I'd have never met in my other life.
Would you like some more?
Yes, thank you.
This wind is strange.
It's like the Sirocco. It blows across the Mediterranean from Africa. I was born in Portugal, in a castle.
I thought it was a villa in Spain.
My mother was a Portuguese, aristocrat. My father was rich and American. I have a castle that stands above the sea. One of my legends tells it.
Tom, what are we doing in this place?
I don't know, really. As I was saying, every race has their legends. The Romans, the Greeks, even the folk here in Point Dune had their stories. I'm interested in their story about the Blood Moon. What was your father doing here?
He didn't know anybody here. He could paint.
Has your father been painting long?
Laura's quite the art critic. She used to model. Photographers mostly. She specialized in exotic poses with snakes.
Oh, Tom just gets so clever when he's trying to get into somebody's pants. Listen, when you go to bed with him tonight, why don't you let him sleep?
Laura, I am tired of having to apologize for you.
He said he was a collector of old legends. He thought my father knew something of the legend of Point Dune. I told him my father wasn't here. He said they could wait.
will freeze as you watch a warped scientist become transformed into a godless beast when his bloody scalpel probes the forbidden secrets of a woman's flesh. In Atom Age Vampire, you will flame to the stark ritual of a beautiful girl's last searing dance, as tragedy forever mars her loveliness, leaving her to face a world of terror.
I give you my word that I will restore your face, restore all your beauty.
You will cringe as the demented doctor experiments with a girl's trusting innocence. But to possess the living miracle wrought by his twisted genius, he must forever sacrifice his soul to the cunning gods of evil.
I'll transplant directly from another human being.
A mad creature born of the atomic age, now shackled to a world of rotting bodies and violent death. A sadist, a criminal, a depraved animal, more ferocious than Jekyll, more monstrous than Frankenstein, more bloody than Dracula.
Fire a volley through the window pane.
You will gasp as lust and madness stalk the dark and screaming night in Atom Age Vampire.
What is that?
It's a Sorex cericidae.
Looks like a small rat.
Shrews as small as rats, perfect for scientific experiments, until they began to grow and grow into things.
They must eat 3 times their own weight in food every 24 hours, or starve.
There are 200 or 300 giant shrews out there. Monsters weighing between 50 and 100 pounds.
That's as big as a full-grown wolf.
Blood-curdling, horrifyingly poisonous monsters.
It was a livestock. The shrews got into the bomb.
The wildest of flesh eaters, threatening all mankind. Your flesh will crawl with fear at their nearness.
The shrews were out there. I couldn't take a chance.
Humans! The Gordrizinator here, the naughty juggernaut, the deep space hotshot, watching your dismal little world with infinite contempt. When I arrive in 12 million years, many things will change for you fool humans. In fact, everything will change. And among the things included in everything that will change for you are those absurdities you call holidays. All holidays as you know them will be abolished. No more, please love me and I'll buy you jewelry and candy day. No more dead bird feast with your weird relatives day. Never again will you drag a dead tree into your home and put merchandise under it you cannot afford. All holidays will be abolished. But don't worry, fool humans. I am replacing all your holidays with one holiday. The best holiday of all. It's called Gordrizalania. The festivities begin the day I arrive, with all of you and your family and friends screaming and running around in abject terror, then continues with all of you obeying my every joyous command as you celebrate the grandeur that is me, then ends when I have grown tired of you and obliterate your world. One continuous holiday lasting, well, As long as I say it does. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Quick and fear.
Going out tonight?
I'm splitting.
Oh. How long?
Forever.
It's a long time. Why?
Because I'm tired. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of this place. He didn't get lost, you know. He came here on purpose. And why the hell Point Doom?
Like the beach? Maybe you could learn to body surf. He's just farting around with us.
Yeah, we'll let him fart around. I'm going to San Francisco. Mickey will take me in.
Who's Mickey?
He's a drummer.
What about me?
You're just a kid. You'll be all right. He's giving me too many lines.
Want a ride?
What the hell? Oh, hey, thanks.
You coming back from the waiting?
What?
The waiting at the beach. You like Wagner?
Oh, yeah, sure. Super. You can, let me off in town. You guys must have been, working late.
Moonlighting.
Moonlight.
Everybody was out there tonight. Even the little creatures. I found a lot of them.
A lot of what?
Beach rats. What's wrong?
Nothing. What do you do with them?
Do with them? I eat them. That's what I do with them. I've got another, if you'd like.
No, thank you. I'm just going to get out right here.
You don't want it?
No. It's a very nice night to walk, really. Jesus.
Clean up on aisle 3. Clean up on aisle 3. Bring them up. Cancel that cleanup. Looks like they got it all.
Feed me food.
Oh, take it easy, Dracula. What do you think I'm carrying here, my dirty laundry?
Where a man-eating, talking plant gives homicide something to think about.
I didn't do it.
Do what?
Whatever.
Ever see this man?
Man, see picture.
Why are you so nervous? Oh, boy, you kiss good, Audrey.
Oh, I guess I just have a good kisser.
Now you will do as I say.
Yes, master.
You will go out and find me some food.
Yes, master.
What's the matter? Don't you like me?
Too bony.
Too bony? Nobody ever told me that before.
Beef is better than veal.
Ah, you're such a dodo. What do you call this? Chopped liver?
Come in. Come closer. Closer. That's right. I'm Vincent Price. You'll be just as safe in this house of fear as any of the other 5 victims murdered by the bat. In all of the annals of mystery, there's never been a more elusive, fearsome, and cunning killer. He'll lure you through hidden passages to make you his next victim. But nobody lives forever, so why be afraid of the bat?
How long's he been dead?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour. You believe it was the bat?
That's a bat's trademark.
Perhaps he's still in the house.
That's possible.
It says here that the bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either.
Is waiting for you.
Here in this primitive river-bottom wilderness in southern Arkansas, along with deer, duck, crane, and beaver, lurks a creature that walks upright. Whether it is a man, a monster, or a myth, no one really knows. What we do know is the people around Fouke, Arkansas say they have seen such a creature nearly 250 times since 1954. And that this creature, whatever it is emits one of the most terrifying sounds ever recorded. Legend of Boggy Creek, rated G.
July 17th. I dread the night coming on now. The fires on the beach are more numerous, and more of them are coming out at night from the town. It's more horrifying than I expected. A crazy old man told me a story today about Point Dume a century ago, and a dark stranger arriving, and the monstrous things that happened to people when he came.
Tom. Father? I felt like I was losing control.
Losing control. It's not nightmares any longer, but something like a sickness that's still there with the sunrise. I think my body is being taken over by some unspeakable evil that's turning me into...
What's wrong?
I don't know. The light was on in the studio. I thought maybe I thought someone was in there.
Come on. It's all right.
There was a painting.
Come on, you've been having a bad dream. Come on, get in.
I don't know what else to do. Nobody in town knows him. I don't know where else you'd go.
Arletty, I think you should leave here.
That's a great idea. Why don't you both leave? Then maybe I could get a little sleep.
Yes, it is. What? I don't... Where? The police said it must have been a mental problem. They had picked up my father twice in town. He was found wandering around before dawn. He never knew where he was, what he was doing in the dark streets. And then people reported seeing him on the beach, building a huge sculpture. The tide must have collapsed it on top of him.
July 20th. If the cities of the world were destroyed tomorrow, they would all be rebuilt to look like Point June. Entirely normal. Quiet. Silent, though, because of the shared horror in common. I know it's hiding now beneath its stucco skin.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now. How is she? I remember the night my father died. He was coming home from work, drunk. His stuff started bleeding out of control. They found children eating raw meat. And it was like the town was festering with an open sore until the night that they... We're never going to leave this place, are we? Until the night they came down out of the canyon and...
Graveyard late at night and seen a coffin open.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated?
Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them.
See all this and more when you see on stage, in person,
that crazy mixed up Dr. Evil and his terrors of the unknown.
Unlike anything that you ever seen or heard of in the past.
Hideous creatures from beyond the grave. Leave the stage and grab girls right out of their seats.
Girls, do not come alone. Bring your boyfriend to protect you. you when the lights go out.
You may find a live snake or rat under your seat.
A real dead body is given away to some lucky person at every performance.
Also, in person.
The Mummy and King Kong, famous Hollywood gorilla, real and alive.
Plus, on the screen, 2 horrific motion pictures.
Dr. Evil and his Terrors of the Unknown.
Plus 2 horrific pictures.
Santa sets up a fantastic automatic toy factory on Mars. The Martian leader battles the wicked Voldar in a desperate effort to save Santa, the wise man of Mars. 900 years old. The Battle of the Toys, when Martian kids and Earth kids join Santa to battle the bad guys of Mars. For real space-age fun, you'll be out of this world when Santa Claus conquers the Martians.
I sat in my father's chair. The mundane scenes around me were of Point June. They were slightly distorted and foreboding, as if they were hiding some message, just as I knew now. Town was hiding some dark fear.
July 21st. My body temperature has dropped to 85. This morning I passed blood again. It's as if the thing that's taking over my body no longer needs human blood.
Already? What's wrong? What is it?
Tom, I didn't feel it. Why didn't I feel it, Tom?
I don't know. It's as if the thing that's taking over my body no longer needs human blood.
Father had beautiful hands. They were fine, long, almost feminine fingers. He was ashamed of them in a way. He used to laugh and say that after the revolution he'd be shot. That pale hands were the mark of a decadent life. That's how I knew. Tom, why did they lie to me? Those weren't his hands. They were coarse and large.
That wasn't my father.
You can't take all three of us. Wrong.
isn't always milk and honey, free and without care. Life isn't always fair and sunny. Life isn't always...
Just with money.
That scene was no doubt inspired by the playground scene in Alfred Hitchcock's classic The Birds, except here it's ghouls that gather around menacingly and not crows. If you've never seen Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, check it out and you'll see what I mean. Well, one down in a supermarket, one in a theater. You can never tell where the danger is going to strike from next. This is a jumpin' little town. We'll see what else jumps out at us after this.
In a forgotten mansion deep in a dismal swampland, a scientist, crazed by his lust for revenge, prepares the last detail of a diabolical death plan.
A few moments ago, Pedro was a man, a harmless, good-natured man. Look at him now. He's no longer human. He's a wolf, snarling, ferocious, lusting for the kill.
The beast strikes swiftly, the first of 4 violent, fiendish murders. Into this crime-ridden situation, a reporter finds the biggest story of his career.
What should make a gory enough story for your paper?
This is more than just a story to me. He was my friend.
Joined by the girl he loves, these two follow the gruesome trail of the mad monster. Every lead proves false. Then, one night, a strange, ominous power draws this girl to a rendezvous with death.
Into a world not yet known, in spaceships of the future, these men of courage and daring set out to conquer the universe beyond the known world, facing unbelievable dangers on every side.
We're being pulled into the sun.
Meeting new adventures in undreamed of places.
Mars.
Lost and trapped in space, with no hope of return.
We've consumed too much of the fuel.
But they have not yet faced the ultimate horror the planet Astar has to offer.
Look there.
Switch you to the state capitol, where His Excellency, the Governor, is speaking from the Executive Mansion.
Further, I have, in conjunction with the federal government,
Declared this state to be a disaster area.
I was sent to keep you here until they come.
To kill me.
Vampires, alive among the lifeless, that make the night hideous with their inhuman cravings. If
they are not destroyed in the flaming pits of hellfire, or staked to the ground in the light of the sun, will the unbelievable become real? A world of inanimate zombies by day, irresistible, horrifying attackers by night. Can a zombie woman's hunger for love repopulate the earth?
Blocks from here. We were watching TV when we heard them. They came crashing through the sliding glass door, making that noise, that awful noise. We tried to get the children, but they already had them in the hall. They went after them like sharks. My husband dragged me out, and we ran to some neighbors who had guns, but it didn't stop them. They kept attacking anyway. He's still there. You've got to help.
I can't.
What's wrong?
Your eye.
Too late. Starting.
I'm very sorry.
July 28th. I cut myself this morning. My finger was nearly severed. Without feeling any pain, I ripped it off at the joint. I felt nothing more. I'm disintegrating rapidly.
one has plenty of fight in him.
Never before has man been transformed into such hideous proportions. Never have teenage girls been subjected to the terrifying ordeal in the fantastic room of torture. Prisoners on this island of the mad must fight desperately to preserve a sane and conscious mind. This strange and powerful story has been acclaimed as the most terrifying of all time, as it bursts forth the unequaled horror of an island of monsters created by a human beast.
No one will ever love you more than I do.
Can a man step away from his past into a future free from fear? Or must the dead past return, making of every living moment a time tortured, tormented? Tormented, holding you spellbound for the she-ghost of Haunted Island. Their dreams of desire overshadowed by nightmares. Can a dead love's lust destroy a man? Or can a man defy the she-ghost of Haunted Island? It's going to be just as though you never existed. I'm going to marry Meg. But at the wedding rehearsal was one uninvited guest.
I'll never let you marry Meg. You belong to me, Tom. You belong to a ghost. Tom Stewart killed me! Tom Stewart killed me!
Well, there's a hot time in the old town tonight. Excuse me. Either Arletta got a hold of some bad shawarma, or that's the worst case of... Oh, look at that. We're going to continue on with Messiah of Evil while I go take an expectorant.
I tried to warn you. I dragged one of the bodies they killed up on the beach, but you still didn't leave. There's little time left. You'll have to go. Tell people on the outside. Warn them that what happened 100 years ago is happening again.
What?
Listen. Please listen. Came 100 years ago. A hunter first saw him. He told the hunter that he had been a minister and had come over the mountains with the Donner Party. He passed that horrible winter with them and saw men commit hideous acts. He said that he himself had eaten human flesh, but had survived because he had faith. Faith in a new master. The hunter didn't understand. When a dark stranger said he was spreading this new religion. When they found the hunter, he looked as if he'd been attacked by some kind of animal, half-eaten. As he was dying, he told them of the dark stranger. And they assumed he was delirious. When he went into a fit, biting at them like a rabid dog, they shot him. The dark stranger watched the chaos. And he walked into the sea and said he would return 100 years later to a world tired and disillusioned. A world looking back to old gods and old dark ways. Our world. You've got to go now. Most of this town is infected. It's got to be destroyed before the moon turns blood red. And he returns to lead them up the coast and inland into the cities.
We can both go.
They took me, and they did this to me. I already tasted human flesh.
You gotta kill him. If you love your daddy, you will kill him. Can't bury him. Don't put him in the ground. Gotta bury him. Put fire to his body.
Assume the position and open your minds wide. It's time for your cranial cavity search. Yes, my lords and ladies, the cranial cavity search. Here's a chance for you great geeks out there to prove your geek cred by showing what you know. And tonight's cranial cavity search question is, in the early 1960s, legendary producer-director Roger Corman made a very successful series of movies based on the writings of Edgar Allan Poe. One of these films, though bearing a title inspired by Poe, was actually based on a story by H.P. Lovecraft. Which of these films is based on a story by Lovecraft and not Edgar Allan Poe? A. Mask of the Red Death. B. The Terror. C. Premature Burial. Or D. The Haunted Palace. Do you know, my lords and ladies? Ponder the possibilities while these folks try to plunder your pockets. And the answer to tonight's cranial cavity search question: which of these Roger Corman films was based on a story by H.P. Lovecraft and not Edgar Allan Poe? It was D. The Haunted Palace. Roger Corman decided to do a story by H.P. Lovecraft as a change of pace, so he based the film on The Case of Charles Dexter Ward, the story of a man who inherits an evil estate from his sorcerer ancestor. The film starred Vincent Price in yet another of his great horror roles, as well as Lon Chaney Jr. American International, co-producers of the movie, insisted that the movie be marketed as part of the Edgar Allan Poe line, and took the title The Haunted Palace from one of Edgar Allan Poe's poems and slapped it on the movie, even though it has nothing at all to do with the story. And now, my lords and ladies, on to the mad, mad conclusion of Messiah of Evil.
Arletty? 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 Arletty?
Why didn't you leave?
I came back here to get you.
Tom, it's too late.
I saw them in town. They're traveling in packs like wolves. I think the whole town. I was dreaming. We were in a forest, and it was snowing. The trees were wet, and you were looking up. And I asked you what you were thinking. You said you were thinking about all the people who were born and died. All the trees went on living. Then we came to a village and we spent the night in a wood room. The next day it was so cold. We stayed in bed to keep warm.
We thought we must have made it out of the town. And then we saw the first one. They were coming down to the beach as they did every night, to stare at the ocean and wait. We could go no further. They were all around, watching us, staring at us, as if we were trapped animals, caught, already bleeding, yet still struggling hopelessly. We hoped to make it to one of the small boats on the horizon, and then we would drift out and head for safety down the coast. He was having trouble with his arm. I had hurt him. And now I couldn't help him. Boats didn't seem any nearer. And the last thing I saw was the setting sun. They hadn't let me drown. They had pulled me from the water. They had prevented my last escape. That night, most of the town was on the beach. They built their fires, not for warmth, but as beacons to be seen from the black ocean. They dressed me in an old gown. I was to be offered, and following their prophecy, the moon turned blood red, and the dark stranger returned. He let me go with a story that condemned me, knowing that they wouldn't listen. He was right. I made it back, and they put me here.
He told them of the dark stranger, and they assumed he was delirious. When he went into a fit, biting like a rabid dog, they shot him.
It was like
The night the moon turned blood
red
red,
and the moon got up there.
horrible, pale creatures
Because
who were no
people were
longer
being jerked. What happened?
crashed into farmhouses and gorged themselves.
You can do horrible things.
Foreign
Cannibals. Folks with shooters around the streets 100 years ago.
During the day, they let me out with the others. We sit in the sun and wait. We sleep. And we dream. Each of us dying slowly in the prison of our minds.
Hold on to love, hold on to love, so the moon above will not turn red with hate. Hold on to faith, hold on to love, hold on to love, but beware of men who became beasts of prey. How many are they? Child without a soul, man without a heart, they're one hungry goal to tear your life apart. How many are they? Don't try to find out, stay away. They are without shame. This is not a game. From them stay away, or you could become one. I say, I gave my message to the wind. I told my story to the sea. Somehow, somewhere, someone may hear me. Hold on to love, hold on to love, hold on to
And so, in true Lovecraftian fashion, the only survivor of the otherworldly terror is condemned as insane. No matter how fervently she tries to warn the world, they will not listen. If you're a horror fan, and I assume you are, and you haven't read any H.P. Lovecraft, I highly recommend you get your hands on some of his writings immediately. His stories have inspired everything from The Reanimator and the Evil Dead to the Ghostbusters and the TV series Babylon 5. You have got to read some Lovecraft. But now, my lords and ladies, I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to invite you back again next week when we'll do whatever this is all over again. As always, I am Lord Blood-Rah saying, geek out.